Okay, now today's episode, we're going to talk about installing these Molle racks for your crossbars in the more linear fashion all the way up your Cybertruck. And this is going to be different than the install we did the other day. So we're going to go ahead and start the recording, and I'm going to show you the installation process. Okay, so first things first, I have to install the bottom two crossbars. So here I am putting everything on to mount the crossbars. I have this sped up into 2x mode, so I'm working a little fast but not really fast. Having done this a couple times, I'm pretty good with getting these on here and using some of my own tools as well as the tools that Teslaunch provides. I'm able to get this installed pretty quickly. So going ahead and mounting these roof racks, it doesn't take that long to do. So for those of you who want to take these off and put these on, so maybe on the weekend you don't have them on if you want to look sportier, it really probably takes you about, if you do this a few times, 15-20 minutes to do it. You'll get it down pat with your tools. And so first we're going to do that, and then the next step, what you'll see me do is I remove the screws from the Molle rack, and then I go ahead and leave one on there on the driver's side and bring the other two down to the others. Now when you bring these on top of each other, you do not screw anything in until it's rested on top, because remember, one of these goes on top of the other. So you don't want to put the screws in to find out that the next one you put below it, you have to take the screws out only to put the other panel in there and put the screws back in. So I would lay the panels out first and then start affixing the screws. And remember to have your instructions for each of these relatively handy, keeping it in a secure place. As a reminder for the roof rack, these racks are 4 different sizes. The longest one is at the base where I'm standing right now, and the shortest one is over at the top, right over the driver's head. So it goes from short over to long, or narrow over to wide, I should say, down the vehicle to the very end. And remember, don't forget the cover to put on here. And while they do give you the tools for this, you might want to use your own tools to tighten these securely, but not over tighten them. What you can do is you can Google the torque limits for some of these bolts and use a torque wrench to go ahead and torque to the proper setting. And this is actually the 4th and last roof rack I'm putting on. With these, another trick I've learned is to put one screw on one side, then go to the other side and put another screw in there, and then kind of line it up, because you do have about an inch or inch and a half leeway on these. So put one on each side versus doing one side with 2 and then the other side with 2. Put one on one side, go to the other side, put another one in, line it up, and then tighten it up. That's what I found to be the easiest and quickest way to get it in there and to get it installed correctly. And here I am finishing, I believe, the last couple tightens to tighten it up, and I'm pulling the strips off here. You notice the strips come off. Those strips are also going to be length sensitive, so make sure you know to keep the longest one for your bottom roof rack and your shortest one for your top roof rack. All 4 of those rubber strips will be different sizes. Use the correct one. So here I am unscrewing using my Torx bit. Again, it's a T25. They provide you the Torx bit, but I kind of like mine. It's easier to hold on to. Also helps having pockets to put these in, storing your screws there as you need them. what I'm doing is actually putting all of the bolts in my left pocket, and my right pocket putting in the those silver track nuts. There I am, putting them all in place. I'm leaving the last one. Now here I am putting the that silver receptacle, the nut so to speak. I'm sliding it into the very end, but then I realized there's an opening there in the middle I can use. So left the 3 in there at the top, and I rested the second panel on top and bolting through both of them. So I'll be bolting through both Molle racks. And that's why you want to place it on there first and wait for the next screw. Same thing is going to happen with the next one. I'm going to place the other Molle rack in place before I go ahead and affix the screws, because it's going to affix to both Molle racks. And it's going to secure both of them into that rail. So again, just lift up the rack, slide it into place so it lines up with the opening, and get that bolt and drop it in. And you can actually even finger tighten them as well to start it off, so it makes it pretty easy to install. The transition from across the top down along one side is actually pretty darn quick. So if you ever need to, change this around, if you've got the roof rack in place already, changing these panels is stupid easy.
Okay, that installation went pretty darn quick and smooth. In fact, I'm doing this video in real time so you can see how long it takes to actually install, and also to change it from the wide to the linear, or portrait to landscape, however you want to call it. But this was actually pretty quick and easy. I still have to put 3 more here on the bottom, but I wanted to show you just kind of how it all looks. Okay, now I'm going to swing it around this way. I'm going to angle down a little bit more. And as you can see, I'm lying down on this thing. So 200 pounds, no problem. You want to throw a ladder on here and you don't want it to buckle under, you can just throw this underneath it. Again, conduit, 2x4s, anything like that, irrigation, conduit irrigation, conduit for electrical, whether it's plastic or metal, you can just put them on here, and with the Molle rack, just strap it right on into place here. Again, this you remove the south or the lower strip here, and you slide these plastic pieces in, the metal pieces in, and you get your screws with a T25 Torx bit, and you pop them in. Now, another thing I noticed was here in the middle of each of these racks is an opening. So you don't have to bring it in from the side. You can bring it in right from the middle, slide that silver piece in, and fasten it right to this. It goes in pretty darn easy. Again, this goes all the way up the length of the vehicle, up to the windshield. There you go. That was the install. I'm just lying down on top of it. Great storage method. And actually, after installing it like this in the linear fashion, and kind of going back and seeing, actually this does make kind of sense, because if you do lift up your tonneau and you have stuff in here, you just have the one side where things are on top of. You still have access to the rest of the bed. So either way is really going to work for you. Again, if you're a contractor, this is storage 101. You must get. Goes right on top of your roof racks. No brainer. Again, I've got the links for everything right down below. So again, you've got the possibilities. Now also too, you can buy not just one kit, but you can buy a second or a third. Then this way you can either have 2 rows or all 3 as a cover. So it depends what you want to do. Start with one and take it from there, and then kind of see. Again, just a great way, maybe skis or snowboards. Another great usage for this. You can easily put skis on here, secure them on here, snowboard, etc. So hopefully you enjoyed this install. It looks pretty practical to me. Again, Everything's in the description below. Hit like, comment, subscribe. I'm gonna go inside and warm up because it's chilly out here. I'll see you guys again tomorrow.